All right, good day, everyone. Patrick Conley with you, Franchise Development Coordinator with Shuckin Shack and Editor-in-Chief of What the Shuck Is Up, our franchise development newsletter. Today we have with us Jason Thorpe, who is celebrating 10 years as a Shuckin Shack franchisee down in Summerville, South Carolina. Jason, thanks for getting up this morning for us.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
All right, well, tell us we've got about 3 or 4 thousand subscribers to What the Shuck Is Up. And most of these are people who are seriously thinking about becoming a Shuck and Shack franchisee. But tell us about your life and career before getting involved with Shuck and Shack. What were you doing before owning your own oyster bar?
So my whole life I've been in the restaurant industry. Started out young, was a front of the house employee, worked hourly positions all through the front of the house, back of the house, then moved into an assistant manager role, GM role, and then into Shuck and Shack ownership in 2015. It's all I know, it's all I do, and I love it most days.
So tell us about those early days when what was the time frame between when you signed your franchise agreement and when you actually got your doors open? How long did that take?
Yeah, so we signed the contract agreement December of 2014, and then we were open for business April 25th, 2015. So 3.5, 4 months.
That's a fast turnaround for these days. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was still working while it was going on at my other employer and
Okay.
working throughout the night and building and doing as much as we could.
All right. How did things go? How were your first few months open as a Shuck and Shack?
Um, Greater than expected.
Okay.
It was really good. We were a little concerned with the location at first, but I mean, it turned out that's one of the best comments I get from my guests, man. They're like, you really got a great location. I'm like, whew, all right, well, good, good, good. But no, it was better than expected for sure.
Okay. And now, more recently, you've opened another location in West Ashley. So that makes you a multi-unit franchisee now. Tell us about the difference, the time frame difference between Somerville and West Ashley and the differences that between those two openings.
Sure. So the first one, I was very involved, very hands-on, doing a lot of construction as much as I could. Being that the first one was so successful, I was not able to commit as much time into the building process of the second one. I leaned a lot with Jonathan and Matt and you guys and the corporate team to really get everything and help me get it in place. So I did spend a little bit more money than I did the first one getting it open. It was still post COVID. It was tough to get some equipment. It was, building was a little slower timeline wise than was predicted. But other than that, I think we started that one. It took me like 6 months to get the second location open.
Okay. So that's still not too bad. I mean, some of these are taking about a year. So 6 months, I think, is probably about average. So that's great. What about in terms of support? Did you see any difference in terms of level of support from your first location to your second location?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we've all learned from the store openings, being that Summerville was the first or second location to actually open with Shuckin Shack as a franchisee. That definitely we've all learned a lot throughout that process. I mean, it was 9 years, or no, I'm sorry, 7 years from the time I opened Summerville to the time that I opened West Ashley. So yes, I believe we all learned the support was there. The training department was a lot more organized. It was a much better process.
And how's location number two doing in terms of your expectations and projections and things?
It's doing very well. We opened Summerville, my first location, and I mean it really kind of just took off. We were blessed. We got really lucky. Everything went well. The second location, to me, felt like it started a little slower, but now we're rocking and rolling, and it's going in the right direction.
Since What the Shuck Is Up is really dedicated to people who are thinking about a Shuck and Shack franchise, what advice would you give to somebody signing a Shuck and Shack franchise agreement tomorrow? What have you learned that we probably haven't conveyed to them yet, or maybe they don't know yet?
Really, it's going to be a long process to get started because you're so excited and you're wanting to jump into things and you're ready to get a restaurant open when you sign up with Shuck and Shack. Take your time, let all the processes work, let the team help you. They know what they're doing. They're going to point you in the right direction. And let it build and spend a lot of time out there in the community trying to build things during that process of the build out and before you even open the doors to really take full advantage of when the doors open and have strong sales right from the beginning.
Do you have any regrets in terms of something that you would have done differently with either Summerville or West Ashley?
Not, I wish I could have done more hands-on build out myself on the second one,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay.
But other than that, no. I mean, it's been a very good process.
Jason, so you've got two locations open. What's to come in your next decade? I mean, what do you want to do in another 10 years?
Hopefully retire. But no, definitely a third location's possibility. I did sign a 3-store deal, and everything's been tough since the pandemic and staffing, but it's all coming back. It's getting better. I think once it's fully back, then we'll be ready to move on and take on more challenges.
Okay, excellent. So when I told Jonathan I was going to do a video interview with you, he shot me an email. He said the best quote that I've ever gotten from Jason Thorpe is, "I'd far rather manage a bar crowd than a bar."
That's right. That's right. And
Tell us about that. Tell us how'd that happen? Where'd that come about?
so honestly, my background was more front of the house driven. When I was an hourly employee, I spent a lot of time behind the bar, and I felt like even as a bartender at that point that everybody makes money when the bar's busy, right? The bar makes the money, the employees are making the money, and how to create that environment to make it fun, friendly, and where everybody's having a good time, to make you the bar a choice. And it was kind of something that just popped in my head one day. Is like, I would rather manage a bar crowd than a bar cost, was kind of the quote.
Yeah.
And there's a fine line there. You still got to manage the cost side of it, but if everybody's having fun and you're the place to go and people are talking about you in the bar, then I think it's a successful plan in the long run.